It's me. I came all the way from the village to see you. Security. Who is this mad woman? Why is she at my gates? I don't know her. Bari, it's me, Aminata, the one who sold oranges for 3 years to feed you, the one who sent you money every week when you were suffering. His pregnant wife laughed a sharp, cruel sound. Ran to me, you dirty thing. My husband doesn't know you. He would never know someone like you. Aminata's world shattered. 3 years of sacrifice gone. 3 years of lover craze. 5 words destroyed her. I don't know this woman, but how did the village orange seller end up here? Broken at the gates of a mansion. How did 3 years of sacrifice lead to this betrayal? Let me take you back to where it all began. The village of Makani was small, so small, in fact, that everyone knew everyone's story, and everyone knew Aminata's story. She was the girl with the orange basket. Every morning she walked 5 miles to the main road. Her feet were tough from years of walking barefoot. Her hands were stained yellow from peeling oranges. She was 10 years old, but Aminata never complained. She had a smile that could light up the darkest day. She had a heart so pure that even the meanest people in the village, they softened when they saw her, and she had a secret. It made her wake up every morning with hope. She was in love with Jabari. He lived 3 houses down from her family's small mud hut, and they had grown up together. They had played together as children. They had shared dreams under the mango tree when they were teenagers. Jabari was different from the other boys in the village. He was ambitious. He had fire in his eyes. He wanted more than the village could offer. Aminata, he would say, looking towards the horizon, one day I will leave this place. I will go to the city. I'll make something of myself. And Aminata would smile. I believe in you, Jabari. You will be great. She meant every word. One evening, as the sun painted the sky orange, the same color as her fruit, Jabari approached her with this serious look on his face. I have decided, he said. I am going to the city next month. There is nothing for me here. I need to find work. I need to build a future. Aminata's heart dropped, but she kept smiling. That's good. Jabari, you deserve better than this village. But I have no money, he said, his voice cracking. The bus fare alone. I've been saving for 2 years, and I still don't have enough. I need money for transport and food when I arrive, and for somewhere to sleep while I look for work. Aminata looked at her orange basket, then she looked at Tabari. In that moment, she made a decision that would change her life forever. I will help you, she said quietly. She said quietly, Aminata, no, you work so hard for that money. Your family needs it. My family will be fine, she interrupted. You are my friend, Jabari. More than my own family. I believe in your dreams. Let me help you reach them. That night, Aminata went home and pulled out a small metal box from under her sleeping mat. Inside was everything she had saved for 3 years. Every kobo from her orange sales that her family did not desperately need. It was meant for her own future me to buy a sewing machine one day, or to help her younger siblings go to school. She counted the money. It was enough. The next morning, she gave it all to Jabari. His eyes filled with tears. Aminata, I will never forget this. When I make it in the city, I promise I'll send for you when I make it. You are sacrificing so much for me. Just promise me that you won't forget where you came from. She said, her voice soft. Promise. You will not forget the people who believed in you. I could never forget you, Aminata, he replied. He held her hands. She felt her heart flutter, like a bird trying to escape a cage. 2 weeks later, Jabari left for the city. Aminata stood by the roadside. She waved until the bus disappeared into the dust. Then, she picked up her orange basket and went back to work. She had given away her savings, but she still had her oranges. She still had her hands. She still had hope. Every week after that, Aminata sent money to Jabari. She woke up earlier. She walked further. She sold more oranges. She skipped meals so she could save more. When her friends asked her why she was working so hard, she would just smile and say, I'm saving for something important. The months passed. Jabari's letters came less frequently, but when they did arrive, they were full of hope. He had found work as a driver for a wealthy chief. He was learning. He was growing. He was grateful for her support. Aminata's heart swelled with pride. Every time she read his letters, she did not know that each letter brought her closer to experiencing the greatest heartbreak of her life. Heartbreak. She didn't know that her sacrifice would become her greatest regret. The city was nothing like Jabari had imagined. It was bigger, louder, brighter, and full of opportunities for those brave enough to seize them. Jabari grabbed them with both hands. His job as a driver for the Chief of Conquest was more than just a job. It was a doorway into a world he had only ever dreamed of. The chief was one of the wealthiest men in the city. He owned properties and businesses, and he had connections that reached into the highest levels of government. And Jabari was a good driver. In fact, he was excellent. He arrived early. He kept the car spotless. He never complained. He was polite, respectful, and intelligent. The chief noticed within 6 months, Jabari had become much more than just the driver. He was also the chief's trusted assistant. He ran errands. He handled small business matters. He became indispensable. The chief's mansion seemed like a palace to Jabari. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and servants everywhere. And at the center of it all was the chief's daughter, Shakira. Shakira was beautiful, in a way that only money can make someone beautiful. Her skin glowed from expensive creams. Her hair was always perfectly styled. She wore clothes that cost more than a maniata, made in a year of selling oranges. She smelled of flowers that didn't grow in villages. She walked as if she owned the world. Because in many ways, she did. At first, Shakira barely noticed Jabari. He was just the driver, part of the invisible staff. But Jabari noticed her. How could he not? She was everything the village girls were not: polished, educated, and sophisticated. One day, the chief's regular cook was ill. Shakira came to the kitchen to make herself a cup of tea. She was not used to doing things by herself. She struggled with the electric kettle. "Let me help you, Miss Shakira," said Jabari. Stepping forward, she looked at him. She really looked at him for the first time. He was handsome, tall, and strong from working in the village. His smile was genuine, not like the fake smiles of city boys who only wanted her money. His eyes were respectful yet confident. "Thank you," she said, surprised by her own interest. "What's your name again, Jabari? You're not from the city, are you?" "No, Ma Wayne, from a small village. I came here to build a better life." She smiled. There was something refreshing about his honesty. "That is admirable." From that day on, something shifted. Shakira started finding reasons to talk to Jabari. She would ask him to drive her to the market instead of sending the other driver. She started conversations about his life in the village. She was genuinely curious. She was tired of city boys who were only interested in her father's money. Jabari was different. And Jabari, he was slowly forgetting the orange-stained hands that had made his new life possible. Back in the village, Aminata was still selling oranges. Every week, without fail, she went to the money transfer office and sent Jabari whatever she could spare. Sometimes it was a lot, sometimes it was a little. Sometimes it was a lot, but it always went. She lived on hope and his occasional letters. His letters were changing, though they became shorter, less personal. They were more about his work and less about his feelings. But Aminata told herself that he was just busy. Success was demanding. She understood. She did not know that Jabari had stopped reading her letters as carefully. She did not know that he had stopped mentioning her to anyone in the city. She did not know that when people asked if he had someone back home, he would change the subject. The truth was simple and cruel. Jabari was ashamed. He was ashamed of his village roots and his poverty. He was ashamed of Aminata with her orange basket and her simple ways in the chief's mansion. Surrounded by wealth and sophistication, his past felt like dirty clothes. He wanted to hide in the back of a cupboard. When Shakira's interest became obvious, Jabari did not resist. He told himself he deserved it. He had worked hard. He had earned his place. Why should he be tied to village life when he had escaped it? Why should he be loyal to a girl who was just a friend? Really, when a woman like Shakira was interested in him, he pushed away the guilt. He ignored the memory of Aminata's yellow-stained hands. She gave him her life savings. 6 months later, something happened that changed everything. Chief Okonk had a massive heart attack. The doctors tried everything, but the chief was old and his heart was weak. 3 days later, he died. The mansion fell into mourning. Shakira was devastated. Her father had been her world. In her grief, she clung to her closest friends. Jabari was there. It's steady, supportive, strong. He comforted her. He handled the funeral arrangements. He showed her a side of himself. That made her lean on him even more. 3 months after the funeral, Shakira's family lawyer read the will. The chief had been a smart man. He had carefully protected his daughter's inheritance, but he had also written something unusual. Shakira should marry a man of character, not a man of money. Someone who works hard and treats her with respect. Shakira looked at Jabari. He was exactly what her father had described. 2 months later, they were engaged. Back in McCain village, Amina heard the news from a traveler who had been to the city. She was crushing. When the woman told her, Amina thought, "I saw your friend Jabari, the one you always send money to. He's getting married to a rich man's daughter." Can you imagine a village boy like him? The orange slipped from Aminata's hand. The juice splattered on the ground like blood. Married her. Her voice was barely a whisper. "Yes, there's a big wedding next month. He is so lucky." From nothing to everything, Aminata's smile never faltered. "That is wonderful news. I am happy for him." But inside, something cracked. She had hoped. Even though he had never promised anything, she had hoped that maybe one day, once he was settled, he would remember her, not just as the friend who helped him, but as something more. Still, she pushed down the hurt. She was happy for him. He deserved good things. That night, she decided to go to the city, not to stop the wedding, Not to confess feelings he might not share. Just to see him one last time? To congratulate him? To see that her sacrifice had not been in vain? She saved every penny for 3 weeks. She bought the cheapest bus ticket. She packed a small bag containing her best dress and blouse. She also carried one thing that meant everything. A photograph of her and Jabari from years ago, standing under the mango tree and smiling. On the morning of the wedding, Aminata arrived in the city. Her heart was pounding with nervousness and excitement. She asked for directions to the chief's mansion. When she finally saw it, her breath caught. It was more beautiful than she had imagined. Golden gates, gardens, cars everywhere. She smoothed down her simple clothes. She held her orange basket in one hand and Jabari's photograph in the other. She walked to the gate. She could see the celebration inside. Then through the crowd, she saw him. Jabari was wearing a beautiful suit, smiling happily, standing next to the most beautiful bride Aminata had ever seen. Then the chief died, but what happened next would change everything. Asterisk, asterisk. The security guard at the gate. The security guard looked at Aminata as though she were an insect. Madam, you cannot enter. This is a private event. Aminata's hands trembled. Please, I just need to see Jabari just for 1 minute. I am his friend from the village. I came to congratulate him. The guard laughed. It was not a kind laugh. Friend, look at you. Look at this place. Does it look like people like you are friends with people like them? The words stung, but Aminata had dignity. She stood taller. Please just tell him Aminata is here. He'll recognize. Please, she said. The guard sighed, looking annoyed. Wait here, do not move. Aminata waited, her heart hammering against her ribs. Around her, expensive cars pulled up. Women in beautiful gowns stepped out. Men in suits that probably cost more than her family's yearly income. They walked past without seeing her. She felt small, out of place, but she had come so far. She wouldn't leave without seeing him. 10 minutes felt like hours. Finally, she saw movement at the gate. Someone was coming. It was Jabari. Her heart leapt. Even from a distance, he looked different. Sophisticated, confident, rich. But it was still him. Still the boy she had believed in. The man she had sacrificed for. She smiled. A real, genuine smile full of warmth and pride. Jabari, she called out, waving. He walked closer. His face was strange. Not happy, not surprised. Something else, something that made her smile falter. She held up the photograph. Jabari, it's me, Aminata. I came to congratulate you. I heard about your wedding and He stopped 3 feet away from her. His eyes were cold. He looked at her as if she were a stranger. Who are you? His voice was like ice. Aminata laughed nervously. Jabari, don't joke. It's me, Aminata from Marquini village. We grew up together. I helped you come to the city. I sent you money every week. I don't know you. The words came out flat. Final time, stop. Amina's smile froze on her face. Her brain could not process what she was hearing. What, Jaboiding, what are you saying? Of course you know me. We've never met before. He turned to the security guard. She's probably just a beggar making up stories. Remove her from my property. Immediately, the world tilted. Aminata felt her knees go weak. Jabari, please. Why are you saying this? It is me, look at me. Look at the photograph. That's us under the mango tree. You have to remember. His jaw tightened. For a split second, something flickered in his eyes. Guilt, recognition. But it vanished as quickly as it appeared. Security wing, I said, remove her now. 2 guards grabbed Aminata's arms. She struggled not with violence, but with desperation. Jabari, please just tell me why. Tell me what I did wrong. I gave you everything. I believed in you. I starved for you. How could you? Get this crazy woman away from here before my wife sees. His voice was sharp and panicked. The guards dragged her backwards. Her orange basket fell. Oranges rolled across the expensive driveway, bright and out of place. The photograph slipped from her fingers. Jabari, please, cried, her voice breaking. Tears streamed down her face. Please don't do this. I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted to see you to congratulate you. Please. But Jabari had already turned away. He walked back towards the celebration, towards his beautiful bride, towards his new life. Without looking back the guards threw Aminata outside the gate. She landed heavily on the hard pavement. Her best wrapper tore. Her hands scraped against the concrete, but the physical pain was nothing compared to the agony ripping through her chest. She had been erased. The man she had sacrificed everything for. He had looked her in the eyes and said, he did not know her. He had called her crazy and treated her like garbage. People walked past her on the street. No one stopped. And a crying woman on the pavement was nothing out of the ordinary. It was just another Tuesday. Aminata curled into herself. Her sobs came from somewhere deep and primal.
This was not just heartbreak, this was devastation. This was betrayal. So complete that it shattered her understanding of the world. She had believed in goodness, loyalty, and love. And it had all been a lie. She cried until she had no more tears. Until her throat was raw. Until the sun began to set, and the celebration inside the mansion grew louder, filled with music and laughter. She did not know how long she had been sitting there. Time meant nothing. Then a gentle hand touched her shoulder. "Child, are you all right?" Aminata looked up. An older woman stood above her. She had kind eyes and a worried expression. Her clothes were simple yet clean. She looked like someone who had experienced hardship and survived it. Aye, Aminata could not speak. "Come," the woman said softly. "You cannot stay here on the street. Come with me. My name is Mama Cory. Let me help you." Aminata had no strength to resist. She let Mama Cory help her to her feet. She let her pick up the scattered oranges and lead her away from the mansion, away from the Golden Gate, away from the man who had destroyed her. They walked in silence to a small house several streets away. It wasn't fancy, but it was clean and warm. Mama Cory made her tea. She fed her rice, didn't ask questions, and just let her cry. Finally, when Aminata could speak again, she told Mama Cory everything. The whole story poured out like water from a broken dam. Mama Cory listened. Her face grew sadder with each word. "Oh, child," she said. When Aminata had finished, "Men like that, they forget where they came from. Remembering would mean facing their shame. He is a coward. What should I do?" Aminata whispered. "I have nothing. No money for the bus back home. No place to stay, nothing." Mama Cory thought for a moment. Then she smiled gently. "I am a housekeeper. I find jobs for housemaids in big houses. I have a job starting tomorrow. Good pay, nice family. Would you like it?" Aminata's pride screamed no, but her empty stomach and empty pockets said yes. "Yes," she whispered. "Thank you, have a good rest tonight. Tomorrow, I will take you to meet your new employers. They are a newly married couple who are very rich, but the wife seems kind." Amina nodded. She didn't care anymore. She just needed to survive. That night, she slept fitfully. In her dreams, Jabari looked at her with empty eyes and said, over and over, "I do not know you." She found the mansion. She knocked on the gate. When he saw her, his face went pale, with a fear she could not understand. Morning came too quickly. Aminata woke up on Mama Cory's floor. Her body ached from crying and sleeping on hard ground. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then the memory crashed over her like a wave. Jabari's cold eyes, his words. The guards throwing her out. She wanted to die. "Wake up, child," Mama Cory's gentle voice called. "We need to prepare. Your new employers are expecting us at 9 o'clock. Aminata dragged herself up. Mama Cory had washed her torn wrapper and laid out a simple uniform for a housemaid. A plain blue dress and a white head scarf. "Wear this and look presentable. First impressions matter." Aminata dressed like a robot. She felt nothing. She was empty, just a shell moving through the world. They took a bus across the city. Mama Cory chatted about the job. "The madam is young. She's just married and her husband comes from humble beginnings. But she married into wealth. He started as a driver. Now he owns everything thanks to his wife's inheritance. A lucky man." Ninata barely listened. Nothing mattered anymore. The bus stopped. They walked down a tree-lined street. Beautiful houses were everywhere. Mama Cory stopped in front of massive golden gates. Aminata's blood turned to ice. No, it couldn't be. These were the same gates, the same mansion, the same place where her heart had been shattered yesterday. "Mama Cory," she whispered, her voice shaking. "I cannot work here. Please, anywhere but here." "Why? What is wrong?" "This is his house. The man who was here yesterday. This is where..." Understanding dawned on Mama Cory's face. Her eyes widened. "Oh, child, oh no, I did not know." But before she could finish, the gates opened. A uniformed servant appeared. "Mama Cory and the new maid. Come in, madam is waiting." Mama Cory looked at Aminata. "We can leave. I'll find you another job. Just say the word." Aminata's mind raced. She had no money and nowhere to go. Going back to the village would mean shame. She would have to explain how she had wasted years supporting a man who had betrayed her, and a broken part of her needed to understand why had Jabari done this. "I will stay," she heard herself say. They walked through the gates, through the garden, to the front door of the mansion. The same mansion where, just yesterday, she had been thrown out like trash. A beautiful, elegant young woman appeared. "Shakira." "Ah, Mama Cory, good morning. This is the new housemaid." "Yes, Ma. Her name is Aminata. She's very hard-working. She's very honest." Shakira studied Aminata with a cool assessment. She looks decent. Can she cook? Yes, ma'am. Very well, good. We need someone urgently. The last maid left without notice. Shakira's voice carried a hint of casual dismissal, dismissiveness of someone who had never struggled. Then from inside the house came the sound of heavy male footsteps. Jabari, a familiar figure, appeared in the doorway. His eyes met Aminata's. The color drained from his face. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. Time stopped. Aminata stared at him. All the pain from yesterday flooded back. But she kept her face neutral and empty. She would not give him the satisfaction of seeing her break down again. Darling, said Shakira, turning to her husband. This is our new housemaid, Aminata. Mama Curie brought her. Is something wrong? You look pale. Jabari's eyes were fixed on Aminata. Terror, guilt, panic. All of these emotions flickered across his face. Aminata said nothing. She just looked at him with dead eyes. He cleared his throat. His voice came out strangled. No, nothing. I am fine. Welcome. The word tasted like poison in his mouth. Shakira frowned at his strange behavior, but shrugged. Come, Aminata. Let me show you your quarters and duties. The days that followed were a special kind of hell. Aminata worked in silence. She cleaned the floors where Jabari walked. She washed the clothes he wore. She cooked the food he ate. And at every moment she felt his eyes on her watching. Afraid of him, she avoided him when she could. But in a house, avoidance was impossible. The first week, she cooked dollops of rice. It was perfect, the way she had cooked it 100 times in the village. When Jabari visited her family at dinner, Jawedimari took one bite. His face twisted. This rice is terrible, he announced loudly. Too salty, overcooked. Shakira, we cannot eat this. Shakira tasted it. Her face showed confusion. It tastes fine to me. Actually, it's quite good. No, Jabari's voice was sharp and desperate. It's terrible. This maid does not know how to cook. She is incompetent. Aminata stood in the corner, her head bowed. Her hands trembled. She knew what he was doing. He was creating reasons to push her away, making her look bad. But she said nothing. The second week, she washed his favorite shirt. She carefully hand-washed it, the same way she used to wash his clothes in the village. When he visited, she remembered how particular he was, how he liked his collar stiff but not too stiff. The next morning, Jabari stormed into the kitchen. Aminata was preparing breakfast. You ruined my shirt. Look at this. He held up the shirt, which was perfectly clean and pressed. The color has faded. You washed it wrong. You're careless. Shakira walked in. Drawn by his shouting, she examined the shirt. Jabari, the shirt looks perfect. What are you talking about? You don't understand quality, Shakira. This shirt is ruined. This maid is useless. His eyes met Aminatu's. In them, she saw desperation. He was trying to make Shakira fire her. He was trying to remove the living reminder of his shame. But Shakira waved him off. You're being ridiculous. The shirt is fine. Aminata, ignore him. He must have woken up on the wrong side of the bed. Every day he had a new complaint. The floors weren't clean enough. The windows had streaks. The food was either too hot or too cold. The laundry was not folded correctly. Nothing Aminata did was ever good enough for Jabari. Shakira started to notice. Why are you waiting hard on this maid? She works better than any we have had. You complain about everything she does. I just have standards, Jabari would say, his jaw tight. But Amina understood. Every complaint was his fear speaking. Every criticism was his guilt. He was terrified that she would tell Shakira the truth. Terrified that his perfect life would crumble. So she stayed silent. Did her work endure? But in the third week, something changed. One evening, Aminata was cleaning the study late. She thought everyone had gone to bed. She was on her knees, scrubbing the floor. When she heard the door close softly behind her, she turned and saw that Jabari was standing there alone. His eyes were different now. Not afraid, but something else. It made her skin crawl. Aminata, he said softly. He moved closer. She stood up quickly and backed away. Sir, I'm just finishing cleaning up. I'll leave now. Wait. He stepped between her and the door. We should talk alone. There is nothing to talk about, sir. Her voice was steady, but her heart raced. Please, I know I treated you badly. I know I hurt you, but seeing you here every day, single quotes, he moved closer. Too close. I remember everything. The village, how beautiful you were. How you helped me. His hand reached towards her face. Aminata jerked back. Do not touch me. Amy Nutter, please. I made a mistake. Rejecting you was the biggest mistake of my life. But we can fix this. I tried to stop her, but her voice was like ice. You are married. I am your housemaid. This is wrong. Shakira does not have to know. We can be careful. I can help you. I can give you money, better quarters, or anything else you want. Aminata felt sick. He had denied knowing her. He had destroyed her reputation. He had treated her like garbage. And now he wanted to make her his mistress? Get away from me, she whispered. But he grabbed her arm. You don't understand. I think about you constantly. You are so beautiful. So she yanked her arm free? I'm leaving now. She pushed past him and fled to her tiny room behind the kitchen. She locked the door and sat on her narrow bed. She was shaking with disgust and rage. This was worse than rejection. This was a violation. The incidents continued. He would corner her in empty hallways, touch her shoulder as he passed her. He would whisper that she looked beautiful. He said that he had made a mistake. He said that they could be together if she just kept quiet. Sometimes his eyes would cloud over as if he were confused, as if he could not decide whether he hated her for existing or wanted her because she reminded him of simpler times. Aminata started avoiding him completely. She only cleaned rooms when she knew he was out. She would eat her meals quickly and then disappear. She would never be alone in any space. But Jabari grew bolder and more desperate. One afternoon, Shakira went shopping with friends. Jabari stayed home claiming he had work. Aminata was washing the dishes in the kitchen when Jabari appeared. He locked the door behind him. Sir, please unlock the door. This is not appropriate. I just want to talk. Aminata, why do you keep running from me? We have history. We were friends once. I cared about you, and you destroyed that. Now unlock this door. Not until you listen to me. His voice frustrated. Do you know how hard this is for me? Having you here every day, seeing you, wanting you. I'm going crazy. That is not my problem. Aminata's voice shook. You made your choice. You chose Shakira. You chose this life. You denied me. And now you want me to be your dirty secret. I made a mistake. Yes, I did, and you have to live with it. She grabbed a knife from the dish rack, not to threaten, just to protect. Unlock this door now, or I will scream so loudly that the neighbors will hear. Something in her eyes made him step back. He unlocked the door. She fled that night. Aminata could not sleep. She had reached her limit. But where would she go? She had saved nothing. Mama Corey's room had already been rented out. She had nowhere to go. She decided to talk to Shakira. She would tell her the truth about everything. Let whatever happens happen. But Jabari moved first. The next morning, Aminata was hanging out the washing in the backyard. When she heard raised voices from inside the house, Shakira was shouting. Aminata's stomach dropped. Shakira burst through the back door. Her face was contorted with rage. Jabari followed behind her, looking guilty and panicked. You? Shakira pointed at Aminata. You disgusting snake. Aminata froze. My husband just confessed everything to me. How have you been throwing yourself at him? Trying to seduce him? Coming to his study at night? Following him around? The world tilted? What? No, Ma, that is not. He told me everything. How you claimed to know him from his village? How you lied about sending him money? How you have been trying to trap him? Since the day you arrived, you came to our wedding just to cause trouble. And when that didn't work, you tricked Mama Curie into bringing you here. Mama, that's not what happened. He is lying. Please listen to me. He's lying. My husband is lying. Shakira's voice. He came to me in tears. That you threatened to lie to me about him. If he did not sleep with you. Aminata looked at Jabari. He stood behind his wife, his eyes cast down. He did not wait in Aminata's gaze. The ultimate coward, Jabari. Aminata's voice broke. Tell her the truth, please. Tell her what really happened. Tell how you tried to touch me. How you saw. Shakira pointed triumphantly. She's delusional. She's making up crazy stories to try and destroy my marriage. Get out of my house. I have worked here 6 months without pay. You said you would pay me at the end. Please just give me my money and I will leave. Shakira laughed. A cruel, cold laugh. Pay me. You're paying a woman who tried to seduce my husband? A liar, a schemer. You should be grateful that I am not calling the police and have you arrested for harassment. Please. Aminata fell to her knees. Please, Ma, I have nowhere to go and no money. Just pay me for my work. I am begging. Guards. Shakira screamed. 2 security men appeared. Throw this woman out. Make sure she never comes near this property again. If I see her within a mile of my house, I will have her arrested. I will have her arrested. The guards grabbed Aminata roughly. She struggled not with violence but with desperation. My things. At least let me get my things. You have no things, Shakira spat. Everything in this house belongs to me. Get her out now. They dragged Aminata through the house. Through the beautiful rooms. She had cleaned for 6 months. Past the kitchen where she had cooked. She had scrubbed the floors on her knees. As they pulled her towards the gate, She saw Jabari one last time. He stood in the doorway watching. His face was a mask of relief mixed with guilt. Their eyes met, but this story is far from over. Aminata walked away from those golden gates with nothing, no money, no home, no hope. But she walked away with something Jabari hadn't expected. A fire burning inside her that wouldn't die. Now, I need you to tell me, do you think Aminata will forgive Jabari and walk away forever? Or will she come back for revenge? Do you think, will Jabari continue to live his perfect life? Or will his lies finally catch up with him? Will Shakira ever discover the truth about the man she married? And most important, do you think this marriage will survive? What's coming next? What happens in part 2 will leave you speechless. Will leave you speechless? Aminata's story has only just begun. Trust me, you do not want to miss what happens next. Subscribe to this channel right now, so you won't miss part 2. Drop a comment below. Are you Team Aminata or Team Jabari? Should she forgive him or destroy him? Part 2 is coming soon and everything will change.